regime.
We didn't see any international condemnation or any reaction from the world. I mean, they know Libya is an oil well for them, and they should be acting straight away.
But, you know, what more can they do? I've asked a lot of guests this. They can condemn, they can put out statements, the UN can vote, Security Council, whatever, but short of actually going into Libya and doing something.
Just refuse to buy oil from him. Simple as. I mean, the world has to struggle for 2-3 days without oil, but he's got no money to pay for anything.
So that would be your way
Sometimes you have to fight. Sometimes you have to fight somebody in the pocket, you know, you just hit him what it is, which is the pocket.
So oil is the heart of the regime in the end, and if you go at that...
Pardon?
Yeah, or you're saying in the end that the oil and the money is at the heart of this regime in the end, and that if you attack that...
Yes, it is, yes, it is. And it is, and since it came, and since we discovered oil in Libya, it's became like a nightmare for Libya more than it was something to help Libya to prosper.
Are you surprised at all? I asked you if you were surprised at the force that was used. Are you surprised at the speed with which this is happening over a week?
I'm surprised of this.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm surprised of the speed of the revolution that come up 5 days. I mean, I don't want to call it revolution because that's Mr. Gaddafi's words. I will call it an intifada like the Palestinians and the Egyptians call it, to be honest. And I'm so happy with them, and I hope they carry on. Either they get their freedom, or they end up, as we say, martyrs.
I'm just reading some background information here, which has been given to me, that your father was apparently taken away and imprisoned.
Yes, he
by
was
Colonel
taken.
Gaddafi's
He was
men.
taken away in 1984, 7th of the 5th, 1984.
For doing
when there
what?
was a coup in AlJazeera. There was a coup in AlJazeera in Libya, and every doctor was in the university who wasn't affiliated with the Gaddafi's regime have all been captured and sent to Abu Slim prison. So they were the first prisoners actually in Abu Slim.
And
1984, this story.
And he was released when?
He was released in 1988, 46 months after.
And why did they choose to release him then?
Because Gaddafi tried to change at that time, and he called it something like Asbah al-Subh, which meaning in English that the morning has came, and he went and dumped all the borders, and he drove tractors through the borders and the tractor through the Abu Slim prison. But then 2 weeks later, he just became normal Gaddafi again.
So this is really personal for you, isn't it? Not just because you're Libyan, but because
it's for everyone. It's for everyone who suffered, not just for me. It's for everyone who suffered, for everyone who missed his dad, for everyone who been lied to, that they said your dad's alive, or your brother is alive, or your sister is alive, and then apparently they were being killed and covered in a hole with concrete, to be honest. So this one goes to everyone who's been struggling for the last 42 years.
Akram Ramadan is joining us from London, giving us some insight to his personal experiences, his family's experiences, and we thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Daha.
Right, there's Anita McNaught. She is in Istanbul for us for some reaction from there. Evacuations and repatriations back to Turkey, Anita.
Well, the Turks wish, Kamal. There are reasons why, for some countries, not a lot is being said about the situation in Libya. Listening to your guest and the Qatari foreign minister earlier, in the case of Turkey, it has 25,000 reasons to tiptoe around the Gaddafi regime while it's still got a grip on the situation in Libya, and the citizens are still being bombed. And that is the 25,000 Turks who are residents in Libya, working there, working principally in the construction industry. Turkey has been trying to get them out. They convened an emergency meeting at the Foreign Ministry on Sunday night with the military and the National Intelligence Unit. The Prime Minister, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has been on the phone at least twice to Muammar Gaddafi personally, asking him to help them evacuate the Turks. But the problem is this: without permission to leave, they can't leave, and the Libyans are not allowing Turkish planes to land. One plane, we saw those pictures this morning, managed to get 144 Turks out. A few hundred more have managed to cross some land borders either side of Libya, but there are still tens of thousands of Turks trapped there who cannot get out. And the Turkish government is extremely concerned about how they're going to do that. Now, one of the things they have done, Kamal, is they've sent 2 ships, 2 large Sea Cats, each with a 1,000-plus capacity, to sail for 22 hours to get to Tunisia from Turkey. But again, there is no guarantee they'll be allowed to dock. They may get there, and they're also carrying aid, medical supplies, doctors and nurses. They may have to turn around and come back again if they can't make landfall there.
A quick word, Anita, if you wouldn't mind, and forgive me if you are repeating yourself a little bit here, but relationship between Turkey and Libya more generally before all of this happened?
Well, it's been very good, and it's a long-standing one. The Turks have been doing business in Tunisia since the 1970s. And at the moment, ironically enough, given what Turkish planes are unable to do, they're in the process of reconstructing Tripoli Airport, building a new international airport terminal there. The Turks have got about $15 billion worth of current business interests, factories, manufacturing, but as I said, mainly this big construction business they have there. And that, of course, is in jeopardy. Now, some of those sites have been looted by Libyans since order broke down. But, of course, many of those Libyans not taking it out against the Turks. No Turks, as far as we're aware, have been harmed by any Libyans at all. But the Libyans may simply be trying to secure for themselves some sort of financial guarantees that if it all falls apart in Libya for a while, they have something to live off.
Anita McNaught, live from Istanbul with that update. Thank you for that, Anita. Well, it is coming up midnight, actually, here in Doha, which means it's coming close to 11 p.m. In Libya at the moment. A night of very fast developments in that country. There have been talk of live fire in the streets, live ammunition used in the streets against the Libyan people. Warplanes firing from the sky. It happened in Benghazi as well, but the amazing thing that happened there was 2 jets decided to turn away. They defected. They said they would not bomb their own people in Benghazi. Those 2 jets turned up in Malta an hour later with 2 senior Libyan colonels, Air Force colonels on board. One of the more bizarre twists of the night. In fact, we've got the pictures. Let's have a quick look. Those 2 jets sitting on the ground in Malta after that defection. Seen by many as signs of this regime crumbling. Diplomats are resigning all over the world. There are calls from the Arab League and the UN for this all to end. There's still lots more to come. I'm Kamal Santamaria. Thanks for staying with us. Back soon.
As the hot spell extends across the Gulf, we'll still make sure you feel refreshed.
Hello, we've got rather cloudy skies across Qatar at the moment. Northern parts of the Arabian Peninsula looking a little dull. We've got this thick band of cloud just making its way a little further westwards. There you can see Doha. We have got dry weather to come, hazy sunshine, and I think we should see temperatures starting to recover as we go on into the middle part of the week. So 25 Celsius for Doha and also for Riyadh. As that cloud makes its way further eastwards, it will warm up for Riyadh, so getting up to around 25 Celsius as those winds tend to come in from more of a southwesterly direction. Hazy sunshine for the most part, hazy sunshine too into Iran, but we've got some disturbed weather coming into Pakistan, some snow over the high ground, Afghanistan seeing the wintry mix as well. Come down into much of India, it's fine and dry, but for the south we will see some rather lively showers just around Chennai, pushing down into Tamil Nadu and also Kerala. Northern parts of Sri Lanka could also see some wet weather. Colombo with a top temperature of around 33 degrees. Coming to southern Africa, heavy showers still there just around the central areas. Coming down into Zambia, into Tanzania, into Mozambique. Northern parts of Madagascar also still seeing flooding rains. Further